Hopeless Fan Podcast. It is Friday, December 6th. Scotty, Shelby, and Zach. Scotty, we have a surprise for you.
Friday. What is it?
Zach is going to give us a few minutes of his own stand-up comedy routine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I remembered
Zach, dude.
someone randomly said the word stand-up, and I was like, Zach does that. We have to do this. Live on the air.
How'd you convince
Zach's had a
him to
couple
do it?
Miller Lighties. Yeah. So, Zach, are you ready?
That explains it.
No, but who's ever ready?
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Have you ever noticed that?
You ever feel like...
You ever
What's
think
the
about
deal with it? Okay. So something I've
No
noticed
grapes,
that,
no nuts.
No grapes, no nuts. Exactly. Something I've noticed is that as a true procrastinator myself, a true procrastinators, they don't really grow out of their the being a, like, if you're a true procrastinator, you don't grow out of it. You just find more sophisticated ways of it, folding it into your life. And what is some of the ways that you would do it when you were younger?
Or just like turn on TV when I should be doing homework.
Yeah, just the go-tos.
Yeah.
So as you get older, your laziness, it kind of knows no bounds, and you kind of shift the hard work you should be doing into just finding ways to put off the hard work. So for me, I found as an effective way is the emotional manipulation.
Okay.
That really works with a lot of people, especially those close to you that love you the most. So takes, you kind of have to be a little heartless, but so like
Just make them feel like shit.
Guys, yeah, I know. I love you guys so much. I love doing this podcast, and I guess that's my way of breaking to you that next week I won't be able to do it in person. I've got to take mom. She's got to have surgery on Monday. It's
Sorry to hear that.
so I won't be able to
Poor
record
dog.
in person.
R.I.P.
hopefully.
Molly.
Oh, don't even.
Oh, she's not dying.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of dogs.
There you go.
Perfect segue,
Fucking
right?
pro.
I know, right? No, at work the other day, I was
Taking a big old dog.
shit, the big old shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm right.
As you are one to do sometimes, grumpers, as you love to call them. No, yeah, and in the nature of my job, my employees could call me at any second with a major issue out on the road. And in this particular situation, someone calls me. It's that first shit of the day is usually like, it's a grand one. So I'm on the phone with somebody. I can't, be like, oh, I can't, I don't remember what the situation was specifically, but I can't just hang up on them. And then somebody else walks into the stall while I'm on the phone, and it doesn't smell good either.
Right.
So they walk in, they know it's a situation, and I'm also on the phone. And the fear that was struck into my heart, just that total uncomfortability, it made me think of, when you take your dog outside to go take a shit, and it just has this shame-filled expression on its face.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, yep. Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that.
Zach, how are the sweat beads on your head right now?
I guess no more than the normal amount of ridiculous amount that I
For a Thursday, it's not that bad.
yeah,
really.
it's like when I wake up in the middle of the night in any given night. Speaking of which,
Oh my God, you're killing this right
you
now.
ever wake up in the middle of the night that you get that you're just any little thing, like any normal thing, like, oh, hey, can you pass me a water bottle? It's on your nightstand or something, like your lady says.
Yeah.
Or your gentleman, Scotty. They say, you want to pass me your water bottle or something? And then it's like any normal situation. Oh yeah, here you go. But like if you get woken up in the middle of like a dream or real deep sleep, you're like, oh, you want me to pass you a water bottle? How about I pass this knife into your neck? Like that rage,
Jeez.
that primal rage that you feel, like when the dogs wake me up in the middle, like 3 o'clock or like 15 minutes before your alarm goes off, the deep internal just primal rage that you feel, it's like, I'm not going to go on a mass murdering spree, but I can see how somebody would.
Yeah.
Right.
You get it.
I mean, yeah. And you know, when you get in an argument with your spouse, Chevy's looked at my notes and he's like, "Oh no, I've seen what he's already done. This is not gonna get any better.
Go on.
Please go on." You know, when you get in an argument and you hit that point where you know you're wrong, or the thing you're just like, "Oh yeah, like I'm just way off."
Yeah,
like so far off. But it's like your pride kicks in. It's like I'm not gonna give up, especially if you're arguing. If you're arguing with something that they know nothing about. Like for me, it's you know, I have a history degree. It's my wife. She knows nothing about most of that stuff. So it's like I could BS my way out of this argument and make her feel like she's so dumb when the whole time I was like, I'm wrong, and if she only knew how wrong I was. Yeah. I get into that almost daily. Okay. Almost daily. You know, another thing is funny that I noticed is that the camera, it adds 10 pounds. You know, being fat also
looks like you ate 10 cameras.
That's good.
Fucking saving you here, Zach.
Okay. Being fat also adds years to your life.
10 years.
Yeah, like 10. It's 15 in my case. I'd say. You know, so I'm 25, but you know, things that I think, you know, running up a flight of stairs, you know, I can still do them. Right. You know, I'm no spring chicken. Yeah. But I can still do. But it's like when you get up there, it's like you have to take that second that you. I should not be winded. Yeah, I should not be winded, but I am. Or you know, like when you get a good hustle going, you know, like you run like somebody who's like 10 feet ahead of you holds open a door for you, and it's like, oh, you got to make that snap decision. Damn it! Like, damn you conscientious piece of shit. Now you got to sprint and you get there, and it's like you're trying to hold inside your body the fact that you're not dying, just so you can save face. Yeah, I kind of noticed that I do those kind of 35-year-old, 40-year-old things that should not be happening to me as a 25-year-old.
Yeah, you should be nimble. But
that's good.
Awful.
I would like...
La Rosa's pizza is pretty good.
Love La Rosa's. The only critique would be the punchline has to hit different.
Yeah, dude, you gotta
like,
land the punchline.
For instance, you could be like, I don't condone what serial killers do, but I mean, I could see where I could see where Lee Harvey Oswald was coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
Assassin, not a serial killer.
All right, but
yeah, come on. It's like, yeah. It's like
right now it's all rat and no tat.
Right,
I want to hear it in a story. I want to hear it more of like a developed like novel. Like you started off here, and then like I want to hear each element and every step, and then you ended up with the big punchline at the. Maybe it relates to the beginning of the story.
I think the most important thing here is that I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, I know, but
you guys can catch Zack Beasley on his new Netflix special, Getting It Right.
Yeah,
Zack Beasley.
New on Netflix, Zack Beasley's I Didn't Want to Do This. But you could literally like
they made me do this.
The serial killer bit, like I want to kill someone, is good if you land it with like, you know, I could never like go on a killing spree, but a bomb on an airplane right now wouldn't be the worst thing. That's
Jesus.
Yeah, okay. All right, Thursday night football talk. Bears hosting the Cowboys. Big game for both teams. Bears are kind of on life support. The Cowboys, this game probably doesn't mean as much as next week when they play Philly. Still, it's a game you need to win. Jason Garrett's on the hot seat every week. Jerry Jones does like 30 minutes of like interviews.
Is he or isn't he on the hot seat?
I would have to say. Did you see Jerry Jones' quote? He said Jason Garrett will be an NFL coach next season. That's hilarious. That's like, Don't be afraid. Don't forget that I'll end you if I have to. Beat the Bears.
Don't be afraid to fade yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like, so this game is so weird because my gut says one thing, and it should happen. But, like, I kind of like the other line just because of, you know, like, you know what should happen tonight is Dallas -3. That should happen.
That should happen. I've flip-flopped on this line about 5 times.
Yeah, and the thing is, and the reason I like Dallas -3 tonight is because when you look at Dallas, like, they should be going to the playoffs, right? They should be prepping for the playoffs, like getting into that, like, okay, like we hit our best stride, now we hit the ground running and go into the playoffs, on a hot streak. Whereas the Bears, they're pretty much, I mean, they're done. They're done. I mean, they're technically in the hunt, especially, but you don't see them as going to the exactly. You don't see them going to the playoffs with Seattle and San Francisco and the Vikings and the Packers, all four going. So I would say it's all Dallas tonight. The only reason I like +3 is it's because not because Mitchell Trubisky. It's because it's the Bears defense in Dallas, but that's about it.
Right, like I look at the line, I'm like, Dallas -3, I love it, and then I'm like, then I get talked into, okay, it's in Chicago, it's prime time, they'll be rocking, and then I could see the Bears winning outright, and me being like, how was I so stupid? I didn't see this coming. Like, right. You can see
actually,
both
I don't know,
outcomes.
dude.
You could see Trubisky actually playing well because Dallas's defense makes every quarterback feel comfortable.
Right.
It's
all. I mean, it's all dependent. Literally, it's all dependent on how Dak Prescott plays tonight. Because I don't see an outcome to where Chicago completely dominates on both ends of the ball. I mean, like, how did I not see this coming? I don't see that outcome. Like I do, like in other, like for instance, the 49ers Saints game this weekend. I could see either outcome completely, and I would look back and be like, how the hell did I not see Drew Brees laying an egg against a really good defense, or Garoppolo playing, like good enough football?
I have my prop of the year again on this game, and it's gonna be.
Let's hear it.
And it's the underdog for in terms of what the odds are. So we're gonna go.
Can I guess it?
No, because I've told you. It's gonna be under 275.5 passing yards for Dak Prescott.
Oh, I have it at 266.
I have no idea what you're looking at. I'm looking at it right here in front of me. 275.5.
Mine's even money.
275 in the hook for -105. Under, wow. And here's why. Because, Scotty, who's Dallas's offensive coordinator?
Kellen Moore.
Hotshot offensive coordinator who jumped out of the gates early and was like, oh, this guy's good. He's like, is this the new McVay? Because the Cowboys started 3-0. And never been a high school coach, never been a coordinator at the NFL level. And look at the Cowboys. There's 6 losses this year. What does he struggle against? Those good defensive coordinators that are veteran guys. Saints, Dennis Allen. Mike Pettin with the Packers. Greg Williams with the Jets. George Edwards and Mike Zimmer with the Vikings. Bill Belichick with the Patriots. Leslie Frazier with the Bills. All of those guys, veteran defensive coordinators, veteran NFL coaches. Who do they play tonight? Defensive coordinator for the Bears, Chuck Pagano. Veteran guy. Give me the under Dak passing yards. I think, Soldier Field. That especially, I think he gets off.
With that argument, you like the Bears +3 then?
No, because like you said, it all depends on Dak Prescott playing. I swing it the other way. It's how good Dallas's defense travels to Chicago because you've seen how bad Mitch Trubisky plays against teams that aren't the Lions. And
right, but you did mention all of their losses. How did they do when they won, but not because have they won this year without Dak Prescott, playing well?
Without Dak playing pretty well?
Yeah, because that's something to look into.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at the games that the Cowboys have won, and off the top of my head, they beat they killed the Giants, killed the Redskins, and killed the Vikings. In terms of if Dak has played well and
Dak played against the Vikings. Dak went for 397, 3 touchdowns and an interception, and lost 28-24.
Right, but look at and then other games though, the Jets 278, no touchdowns, no picks. The Saints 223, no touchdowns, no pick. And the big one, especially on the road.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good stat.
Yeah. But in terms of him playing poorly and them winning, the first 3 games of the season, he was a first month of the year MVP candidate. So,
right.
I mean, the last game
they were
won,
3-0.
Yeah, he threw for 450. So that's my prop of the year, under the 275.5. But yeah, I think it's one of those games.
I laid the bet right when you said it, Shelby.
The under?
Literally live on the podcast. Yes.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I did this for you.
Get where did you get the bet at? What number?
266.5. I mean, it's 9 yards, but I don't know. I'll take it.
Yeah. I like the under there. I think it's especially how little Zeke was used in that second half of that Thanksgiving game. I think there's an emphasis on running the ball in the cold, getting that guy involved. Under Dak Prescott passing yards. And that's really all I have for this game. It's one of those, like, people are going to complain about it, but it's going to get great ratings because Chicago and Dallas. And it's one of those games where I'm going to be complaining about not having football in February. So I will watch Cowboys-Bears, and it'll be the most important thing of my night besides this podcast.
But it could be worse. Like, we could be watching tonight, like, Dolphins-Jets. That could be the game tonight.
Right.
You know
and
what I mean? Like, these teams at least are both at 500 or better. Yeah.
All right. For your reference, we'll sprinkle in some college. Utah is number 5 in the college football playoff rankings. That's the highest ranking by a Pac-12 team since 2016, when which team went to the playoffs?
Since what year?
2016?
Yeah. So Utah's number 5 in the playoff rankings.
Washington.
It's the highest. Zach also saw this on my screen a couple minutes ago. Yeah, you did. You were all over. You were all over my screen, homie.
What are you talking about? No way.
All right.
I would side with.
Crushed.
Yeah, they got killed.
I don't pick
by
favorites.
Bama, and then Ohio State got crushed by Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That
was that year
gotcha.
that Ohio
one of my
State
favorite nights
over Penn State.
Yeah.
It's when Deshaun Watson won it all, right?
Like, it doesn't matter what team goes in to play Clemson.
Yes, sir. It is.
Did Bama win that championship, or was Deshaun Watson to Renfro?
Deshaun Watson to Renfro.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's for your reference. Sound smart in front of your friends when they bring up Utah. What's your preferred college Final Four? Zach, you're an Ohio State fan. They're obviously going to get in.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't really care if they get in at 1, 2, or 3.
Here's the thing.
If they got in at 4, I'd be a little insulted.
But they're not going to.
Does Ohio State get in if Washington wins? If Wisconsin wins?
Oh, no. If they lose, I would say...
You don't think so?
If they lose to Wisconsin after already beating them in the year, I'd say...
but doesn't that work for them that they already beat them once? They split with a Big Ten rival?
I guess, but...
They lose on a neutral?
I'm just saying, I would personally believe that they don't belong in there if they lose to Wisconsin.
Wow.
I would agree with that.
I would. That's what I'd hope for, but I think they've shown... They jumped LSU after their worst performance of the season, arguably, against Penn State.
That was ridiculous. Although, to be fair, LSU was playing an FCS school as well, so...
Well, that's not LSU's fault.
It is their fault for scheduling them.
Well, that's what always ticks me off is that, like, LSU has that open, or that, that cupcake. The SEC has that cupcake week
out of conference
late in the year. Yeah. They schedule that cupcake team late in the year instead of early, and everyone
Alabama does it too.
Everyone, the entire SEC does.
Yeah.
And they always complain about that, but like Bama or whoever played USC week 1, that was the same week Ohio State was playing,
Florida International.
Exactly. So they just played at a different time. So it's even at the end of the day, but people just don't like it because by the time the SEC does it, it's in the middle of the playoff race.
Yeah. I would say that if Utah wins, put them in, I guess. But I firmly believe that nobody from it's frustrating because I don't think anybody from the Big 12 or the Pac-12 deserves a seat at the table right now.
No.
But there's nobody else to put in that 4th spot from any other conference that makes sense. I don't want another SEC team in there.
It's crazy that Bama's not in there.
Yeah.
Bama's not going. No, they won't go.
Florida doesn't belong in there.
So I would think out of all the teams to give Ohio State the best game, I'd say Oklahoma.
Yeah,
that's who I want is Oklahoma and Jalen
roast their
Hurts.
trash defense. So
right, but I'm saying
their defense is better this year, isn't it?
It's a little bit better, but it's still the Big 12.
Yeah.
But that game could probably be a track meet, so that'd be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah. It would.
Here's the thing: it's because Jalen Hurts has played and won a chip before, so that's the reason I would want to see Jalen Hurts in Oklahoma in the playoffs. I think they played well. I think they'd give Ohio State a pretty good game.
Well, so rarely do we get revenge games in college, and if Oklahoma gets in, we could get Justin Fields against.
Oh yeah.
We could get Justin Fields against Georgia. We could get Jalen Hurts. I guess he can't play against Alabama, but you also get Joe Burrow against Ohio State, and that'd be kind of cool.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you guys definitely think Georgia gets in?
I mean, if they,
win.
Well, they're not going to beat LSU.
So you guys are missing. So you guys are missing. Like, there's no way Georgia and there's like literally virtually no way that Georgia and Oklahoma.
If LSU
Clemson,
wins in
LSU.
overtime by a field goal, or
the flip side, if Georgia barely beats LSU, I could see LSU dropping to 4 and Georgia moving to 3.
Yeah.
Clemson to Ohio State.
There's no way LSU doesn't make it, in my opinion.
Exactly. So if Georgia wins that game,
if they get blown out and Utah blows the hell,
Utah would have to win like by a million.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my prediction.
Because they're playing a higher ranked team in there.
I think the only way two SEC teams get in is if Georgia wins. Because if Georgia loses close, you could make the argument. But then again, they lost to South Carolina at home, so then your argument's moot.
And if
Georgia already has one loss. If they lose 2, they won't go in. I think it's the top 4 right now. I don't think anything changes because Georgia's already lost 1. I think they lose against LSU only if they beat LSU. That's the only way they get in my opinion. Even if they lose close. Yeah, I think that Utah deserves it more than Georgia at this point. They haven't lost, so
I think if there's an SEC bias, then you could make the case for Georgia if they lose to LSU like by 3. But right. I'm with you, Scotty. There's no way because then that South Carolina loss basically means nothing.
And then
they lost.
Who's the Clemson coach?
Dabo Swinney.
Dabo Swinney. Yeah, and then his comments would be.
He's my doghouse. He's my doghouse.
We all let's talk about it. To have. Yeah, let's talk about it. Doghouse of the week.
Yeah.
Dabo Swinney, he's like fake getting mad about he said no one expected Clemson to compete for the They thought they might compete for the ACC title, and that conference is complete trash. And their over/under win total was set at 11.5 this year. And he said not a lot of people thought they'd compete for the ACC title. Big time doghouse.
Did he mean against Georgia, versus Georgia?
No, he said not a lot of people thought Clemson could win the ACC. Yeah. Georgia's not in the ACC, so. Yeah, so and that's what Paul Feinbaum said. Scotty, Paul Feinbaum is an SEC host or a college football host who has a bias towards the SEC.
Because he does a lot of that. He's with the SEC network a lot.
Yeah, and he said that Dabo was the sorest winner ever, biggest baby or something. And
oh, really?
Dabo responded with this weird monologue about how he wishes that adults could take naps like they used to in elementary school. And it was really weird.
Oh, I kind of like that.
No, it definitely plays, but then when you hear the rest of his comments where he's talking about how he's he does the Belichick where Belichick has to say something really good about their opponent coming up even if they suck. Yeah. In a week he'll say Andy Dalton's a top 5 quarterback. So that's what Dabo did about how good Virginia is. They're 28-point favorites to win the ACC. So,
I did remember. I did remember hearing him say something like that. He in the press conference. They're did you go into this thinking this is the most important game of the year? He's and that's where I kind of liked what he said. He's yeah, this is the most important game of the year because you guys literally said I'm paraphrasing obviously and I'm just kind of summarizing what he said, but not direct quote. He said something he's yeah, you guys wait for us to lose, and then you're oh my God, what can Clemson do to F up, basically. But then when Georgia loses, you guys even though it's against a third string quarterback, a team that we beat by 30, even though it's a third string quarterback, a team we beat by 30, and you guys are okay, how can we spin this to make sure Georgia is still talked about and has a chance to get in?
Yeah.
So it's Clemson, they're trying to write off Clemson, but even though they're they've won 2 in the past 4 years, 3 years, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I guess I could get Dabo's he's probably pissed that they're not number 1, even though they won the national championship and they haven't lost this year, which I kind of get. Yeah. No one's.
The UNC hurt them. The UNC game obviously hurt them a lot.
Right, barely winning against Mac Brown, but it's going to be weird not having Bama in the top 4 playing in the playoffs because I actually think they're one of the top 4 teams.
If they have
I do too, dude. I do too.
Because losing to LSU with a banged up Tua by 5 points, and then losing
46-41.
Yeah, and then losing to Auburn with a backup quarterback in a game they probably should have won.
I like their backup quarterback too.
Yeah, that backup quarterback kind of balled. He fucks.
He also like threw two pick sixes.
With that receiver core, it's not that hard to look like really good.
Yeah, so receiving core's good.
Not so hot take. Waddle's
going
to be so good in the NFL.
Oh,
I
is
tweeted
hot.
it.
Okay. All right. I already brought up Dabo as my doghouse. Scotty, what is yours?
How about Tim Ryan, the 49ers broadcaster?
Oh, tough look.
Who was suspended this week? Yeah,
Can't
because
do
he said
it.
I didn't even know about it until he was suspended, but I guess he said
Same.
Lamar Jackson was like cheating or something, or like it was unfair because he the ball was blending in with his skin.
Yeah.
It's obviously a racial remark. I was like, dude, how can you not be smarter than that? That
right,
sounds like you know what I mean? Like, how can you just like be that dumb to say something like that?
Is he the most unwoke person on earth? Because
yeah, in California too.
Right, like how on earth did he think that was just gonna slide under the radar? That's tough.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, like coming out, like you have to find a way to spin it, even if you feel it coming out of your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was bad.
You got to spin that.
Yeah,
but that's an obvious doghouse.
Yeah, and I think they suspended him for the Saints game.
I don't even know what he means by it.
No, oh yeah, that's Lamar Jackson's fault.
He suspended him for the Saints game. Yeah,
yeah, he's the first African American quarterback to ever run the option.
Yeah.
That stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that's bad.
All right, gonna trade.
Was it like I don't even know what he meant? Like, to me, did he mean like the ball was really wet?
No, he meant the ball. Like when he does the option, defenders don't know who has the ball because it blends into his skin.
Oh, dude, that's terrible. Yeah,
that's awful. That's what I'm saying. It's like
so. I thought it was just like really like because the jerseys get kind of darker when it's wet. And like the ball is like wet. That's what I like. I was trying to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, even though he's my doghouse. But no, that's just god awful. I mean, he'll probably be back, and everyone will forget about it. But that's just bad.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. I like.
We can get an honorable mention for doghouse.
Yeah.
So we kind of went, but didn't. Is Paul Feinbaum? Yeah, Paul Feinbaum. No, the country doesn't want to see Utah in the college football playoff. Like,
is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, and it's like they're in a Power 5 conference just because they haven't been. It's exciting to see new blood.
Right.
In the four, and it's like let's see what they've got to offer. For him to say that, but him to speak for over 300 million people to say nobody wants to see this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, he's like a. He's a more liked Stephen A. Smith.
SEC
or
Stan.
Skip Bayless.
Yeah, SEC Stan wants to say something that'll grab a headline or something, but it's just dumb.
Yeah, that he's a more liked Skip Bayless, so he's gonna say his fans are SEC guys,
Ooh.
So he's gonna vouch for LSU and Georgia, and yeah, Utah hasn't been good since Urban Meyer and Alex Smith teamed up. But all right. Going to transition into some of our funner segments, more fun.
That was Utah State, by the way.
Oh, it was?
Urban Meyer was at Utah State.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Hand up. All right. Okay. Zack's lock of the week of the century because Zack won that last week against Scotty because Scotty said it was a joke that Zack said Andy Dalton being back.
Yeah, we said that on the last podcast.
Oh, that's right. We didn't release that. But anyway.
Because we don't need to get
No, we did, actually.
We don't need to get into it.
Okay, yeah. Don't get into it. All you need to know is that Scotty thought it was a joke. Zack's lock was the Bengals money line over the Jets. He went back to his roots, money line underdog, and the Bengals beat the spread by 19 points, winning outright 22-16 to get Zack Taylor his first win of the year. First win of the year.
I kind of like the locker room celebration.
It was, yeah.
Makes me think Bengals are back.
Yeah, we're so back. All right. Zack, explain your lock of the week.
The Bengals been more back.
No, can't be. Reds, Bengals back. Cincinnati sports trending up. Crosstown shootout this week.
Love it. I like to see exciting sports in the closest major sports city to me. I don't care for hardly any of the teams. I guess it's cool when UC is doing well because my wife goes there. But it's just nice to see hope in the eyes of Cincinnatians.
So what's your lock?
What would you call them? What would you call people?
Cincinnatians.
Cincinnatians.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways,
Zach, you went away and became a Ravens fan because you couldn't take being a fan of the Cincinnati.
6 years old when I started becoming a fan.
This is coming from a Broncos fan.
You don't really, yeah. Anyways,
you ran from the problem.
Okay. As a 6-year-old, yeah, I was thinking about it in those terms. Anyways, my lock, I went back to Moneyline, my roots, right? And I'm just going to go total left-hand turn, go way far away from what got me here in the first place, like any good better knows. I'm going to go with Washington. I'm going to take, what is it, plus 13 and a half? Yeah.
13.
13. Yeah,
all right.
I'm gonna go Washington plus 13.
Don't know the line in his lock of the center.
Yeah, Packers. How many double-digit blowouts wins have they had this year?
Just had one. Had one.
Yeah. So
on the road.
Right.
Oakland.
But it was on the road. It wasn't in. It wasn't in
Oakland
Green Bay.
was at home.
How many points did they win by?
Like 20.
Okay.
1 million.
Well, how many? They played a lot of games. How many?
Yeah, I mean about 12, I would say, since it's week 14 and everyone's had a bye.
Yeah, so I'm saying, statistically wise.
No, I get it. I get where you're going. Washington plus 13. Dwayne Haskins is your guy. Okay.
No, Dwayne Haskins is not my guy.
You couldn't fucking hate Dwayne Haskins anymore.
Look, I was so on the Dwayne Haskins bandwagon during the draft, and then he was garbage at the beginning of the season.
He is so bad, dude.
Yeah. I'm not going to jump back on now that he has 2 wins under his belt.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
That would not be a good look.
All right.
Shall we say that again?
What?
About Dwayne Haskins. What is he?
He stinks, dude.
He's so bad.
So bad.
Dude, he's so bad, dude.
You think someone's so bad that you get mad about it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's me and Dwayne Haskins' relationship.
Yeah. I've been there plenty of times, dude. Like anyone that's bad on the teams I bet on.
Paxton Lynch.
Yeah. Hey, Scotty, got a good tip here for you. Just came across my desk. Cowboys first quarter over under. Last 17 games, the under is hit 16 times. 16-0-1.
For the under in the first quarter for Cowboys.
For the game. But
for the game. First
I'm
quarter.
saying, yeah,
I'm locking it in.
The first quarter over under tonight is 7.5.
I have quarters. Let's go.
Yeah.
First quarter is over under 7.5.
Yeah, and in those 17 games,
the under is minus 140.
Ooh, take the over then. Good value.
7.5 plus 120.
Hey, if it's a winner, there's never bad value. Write that down.
Amen.
Under.
I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah, the Cowboys have not scored a first quarter touchdown in 17 games. All right. Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. 17 away games.
Chicago.
17 away games. It's away.
Oh, away games.
Okay.
I've got a for you reference. Just came across my desk.
Oh.
Dallas is 0-5 versus teams that come in with a winning record this year.
Oh, I haven't seen that one floating around.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Okay. Do we want to go?
And they're also 6-1 versus teams with 500 or less. Obviously.
The Bears are 500, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they qualify.
Hammer it. Okay.
6-1.
Do we want to go snake draft or boardwalk?
Boardwalk, duh. Snake draft is at the end.
All right. It's Scotty and Shelby, and they're taking a stroll. Zach's got no music, and we're ready to roll on the boardwalk. And we're talking spreads. It's a boardwalk. What's the betting trend? I like the over, but we love the under. We're bringing some thunder on the boardwalk. Zach will have music soon.
To be fair, I wanted to record today before the podcast, but Shelby didn't get here with enough time permitting.
Fair enough.
What do you mean?
Nathan, not here again. Hot seat.
What do you mean?
So we'll start.
Should we kick him off?
Should I just make his picks for him? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Because they'd be bad, right? And
that means poorly. They might be bad, but then they might actually be good.
Zach, do all of his bets, and I bet he goes 6-0.
Yeah, let's do a hypothetical for you. You need to pull up the picture I sent of the picks. Mm-hmm. Do it on your phone so you can see the. So and you make a pick on that, and then we'll see how they do as a fun one. But I'll also send them to Nathan and see what he likes out of that and what he wants to change. Sound fair?
Yes, it sounds fair.
All right. First game on the board: San Francisco plus 2.5 at New Orleans minus 2.5. Scotty, started.
Dude, this is so tough because I like New Orleans. They should win because it's Drew Brees, but 49ers are coming off a tough loss, and I don't like that it's back-to-back away games for them. But here's something that you might not think about. The last time the 49ers played in a rain game, they blew out the Carolina Panthers. That was supposed to be a close game. So give me 49ers plus 2.5.
Wait, say that again. The last time the 49ers...
The last time there was a rain game.
Yeah.
Which there was for the 49ers before, obviously, the one against Baltimore.
Yeah.
It was 49ers versus Washington Redskins. 9-0.
9-0.
And then the next week, the 49ers blew out the Carolina Panthers in what everyone thought would be a good game because Panthers were rolling, and they blew them out 52-13 or something crazy like that, 51-13. And 49ers coming off a rain game. I think Drew Brees against that defense, number one defense overall in the NFL. I think Drew Brees won't go off. I think that it has a chance to lay a duck. I just don't trust Drew Brees. He's unpredictable in this for me. But then there's the argument Sean Payton versus Kyle Shanahan. Obviously, you lean Sean Payton, but Kyle Shanahan's having a good year, coming off a tough loss. Give me the 49ers plus 2.5. Yeah, so like I said, rain game last time, 9-0, and then the very next week they blew him out. Drew Brees is too unpredictable here for me. I think he'll keep it steady, but I like the 49ers in a close one after a tough loss, plus 2.5.
Okay, Zach, read me what that says as a word, not the letters. Just dit. D-I-T-D. Different in the dome. Listen to this one. The Saints. Usually very good at home. Even better against really good teams at home. 14-1 against the spread at home versus teams with a winning record or a winning percentage of 80% or more. And they cover against the spread in that scenario by 8 points or more. And by an average of 8 points. In their last 15 games. So this, I don't know how far this spans, but it's 15 games against a team with a winning percentage of 80 or better. So far this season, Saints 6-0 in games decided by 7 points or less. And there's never, kind of in the 49ers bandwagon, never been a team with a winning percentage of 80 or better that has been an underdog 2 straight weeks. 49ers, brutal schedule. They go to Baltimore, they're a dog. They go to New Orleans, they're a dog. Just a lot of travel for the 49ers. So, gonna go with the Saints. I would lean under if you're going towards that total. Like Scotty said, 49ers boast a great defense, and as do the Saints, even better with that home field advantage. But we like San Francisco New Orleans minus 2.5 for me. Our friends at the Deplorable Guys Sportscast are with Scotty. They're taking the Niners plus the 2.5. That'd probably be a good line to tease, I think, up to plus 9, or if you can get it at plus 3, get it to plus 10.
Get a load of this, you guys. I don't mean to interject, but look how dressed. Oh, they just cut away. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman dressed down for this game. I think Joe Buck is wearing a turtleneck. No, not a turtleneck, but that's a very nice, like a fisherman's.
Troy Aikman is like daytime casual.
He's wearing a hoodie
on the pier in Atlantic City at like 7:00 on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I like the look.
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
I'm used to them in suits, is all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not there.
Oh, okay. Zach,
I feel left
Nathan. Make your pick for Nathan that we might use, we might not, but it'll be like hyphen. So Saints 2.5-point faves at home against the Niners.
Do I have to make a... I'm sorry. I usually don't pay attention when you guys do this.
You can pick a spread or the total of the game.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go under 44.5.
Good pick.
San Francisco, New Orleans. Yeah, it feels like a defensive struggle here. Both of them have prolific defenses.
First team to 20 wins.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
First team to 20 wins.
Yep, 20-17. I would venture a guess.
20-17 who?
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Up for discussion.
New Orleans.
Oh.
I would say New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah,
right, so he's taking
better receiver play. Sorry,
he's taking
Scotty,
the
I don't mean to shit on Emmanuel Sanders.
It's okay, man. I'm not. I went back and forth with this pick all day.
All right. We go to the second pick. It's Zack's Ravens. Public loving them. Ravens -6.5 in Buffalo, +6.5. Over under is at 43.5. Scotty.
Aaron Andrews not dressed down. Oof.
The Bills have the third-ranked defense in the NFL. So you'd think, you would think, and the Ravens have the 9th. So you would think the over is the play here. It's the over 43.5. Because the Bills have the number 3 overall defense, but they're they're 14th, right in the middle of the league in rushing.
I could not agree more emphatically.
And what do the Ravens do? They run. Lamar Jackson, I don't think they're going to stop him. I think the Bills keep it close, but I think the over happens.
I don't think the Ravens defense is going to stop the pass game. I think I think Josh Allen's going to have, I think he could have close to 300 passing yards.
Oh,
I would lean +6, but
yeah, I'm taking Buffalo plus the 6.5. I look at the one way to beat the Ravens is how the 49ers did it. That was running the ball. Raheem Mostert had a big game, and the Bills' rushing offense has been rejuvenized by not giving the ball to the ageless wonder Frank Gore. It's more of it's more of the Daryl or Devin Singletary. One of them's a country singer. One of them's running back for the Bills. It's Devin Singletary. Yeah. R.I.P. Daryl Singletary.
It's not Mike Singletary.
It is not. I want winners. We're giving them. Bills plus 6.5. Give them the home. This game opened at 5. Already up 1.5. That's huge. Public really loving the Ravens, so I'm going to fade the public. And the deplorable guys, going to go with Scotty's pick again. They like the over 43.5. Zach, what say you? You on the over as well for Nathan?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over. I think it's a sloppy defensive showing. The Ravens coming off the high.
That doesn't work well for the over then. If it's a sloppy defensive showing.
Yeah, it's gonna be they're giving up a lot of big.
Yeah,
plays.
like the defense is sloppy.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, the defense is sloppy. Sorry. I think that I'm big on Josh Allen throwing 2 touchdowns, maybe even rushing for 1. Or at the very least getting them close enough where their rushing game legend Frank Gore gets himself at least 1 touchdown. I could very well see them scoring 4 touchdowns. Honestly, the Bills scoring 4 touchdowns, whether by the air or by the ground.
So okay, you guys are all 3 on the over. I'm on Buffalo plus 6.5. Third game, Kansas City plus 3 in Foxborough. New England -3. Scotty, you gonna fade Bill Belichick?
Oh, dude, this is another tough one. I like what our dudes at the Deplorable Sports Media podcast have, but I'm not gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Chiefs plus 3. Reasoning is because the Patriots are struggling right now. It's at home, which is difficult, and I wanted to take the under. 49 is a lot of points, especially for an offense like the Patriots struggling, but if it's not end of the game. But they could find their rhythm. I don't know. I think against the Chiefs, they don't have a good defense. This is a more than just there's a lot on the line, let's say that. And it's a playoff worthy game. So I think the Chiefs will keep it close, and I think that they'll just kind of preview what the playoffs is going to look like if they meet. Kind of similar to last year.
I'm going to go against Scotty here. We're going to take New England, lay the field goal. New England 65% against the spread off of two straight non-covers. So they don't cover back-to-back weeks. They don't do it a third time usually. 65% they cover. And then since 2008, that stat applies. 17-5-2 against the spread off of 2 straight non-covers, and the average margin that they beat the spread is a whole 13 points. So like New England, I hate being the guy. I feel like as soon as I'm the one to fade Belichick is when the Patriots put together that patented Patriot performance. And I think they have 21
We've
straight
all been
home
waiting
wins.
for it.
Yeah, they've had 21 straight home wins. Their 2 losses on the road, obviously, to good teams in Houston and Baltimore. Have the Pats lay a field goal if they can find a kicker that can make one. Zach, what say you for Nathan?
I haven't gone with a single, team on this one yet, but I really like the under on this. Mm-hmm. Under 49. I gotta go with the under. I don't think. I mean, first of all, when is Kansas City ever gonna be able to play New England at home? When was the last time they were like?
Well, they played them last year and lost 43-40.
Was that in the play? Was that at home or was that
in New England?
In New England,
New England. 40. When are they ever going to get to play them at Arrowhead? It feels
they
like
just played them in the
AFC
Championship game.
That was an Arrowhead.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yikes.
Okay. Well, then that sucks for them.
I actually wrote the under. Zach, I like the under too. I actually wrote it down as my pick, but I need to fade somewhere, and that's where it is.
Yeah, I love the under. At 49, that's such a high number, and Tom Brady's passing game has looked terrible in these last few games, even the ones they've won. I'm gonna take the under. They're rushing. They have solid, regular New England team 5. It seems like they have 5 or 6 running backs. Their rushing games, help keep Tom Brady, from throwing out his 90-year-old shoulder. So, yeah, under all the way.
The over-unders in Patriots games are a lock if you can guess who scores first, because in the Baltimore game, Baltimore scores first. Okay, Patriots are playing from behind. Brady's going to throw 50 times. Shootout. Texans get up big. Brady's got to throw a million times. Over hits late on the last drive. That's what stinks about it, is that if you can dictate, if you have a hunch, if the Patriots start out hot like they have so many times, the under's usually a lock, and that's what the case is here. But I'm just worried that the Patriots have trouble with speed. They had trouble with speed against the Ravens. Obviously had trouble with speed with receivers of the Texans. And what do the Chiefs have? That's speed. So that's what made me lean over. But I'm taking New England. And the deplorable guys agree with Zach's pick for Nathan going under the 49. All right. Last game before our bonuses and our locks. It is Sunday Night Football in L.A. Seattle, 1-point favorite on the road against the Rams. Over-unders at 47. Scotty, your boy's playing in this game.
My boy, dude, and that's why I want to take Seattle. But, this is a good... I mean, the Rams are hitting their stride, and they need to. If they want any shot of catching the Vikings for that second wild card spot. And, I mean, even the Seahawks for that matter. So, I will not take a spread in this game. I'm taking the over 47.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, Rams defense, it's vulnerable. Seahawks defense gets 30 put on them every game, it seems like, or somewhere in the 20s. I think Russell Wilson and Goff go on another shootout, and it's a 60-point total game. So, or at least that's what I'm hoping for, because that would be the most fun. But I think the over here.
Right, and I'm gonna give my pick after Zach gives his for this game for Nathan.
It's got to be Seattle -1.
Shelby's gonna go with the Rams. I know it.
I know. He probably will. But the gas is out of the tank for Los Angeles Rams. Seattle's on an all-time high. Russell Wilson has his ultimate cringe in all of his mic'd up videos. He's just peak Russell Wilson.
Whatever, dude. True leadership just threatens you.
Yeah, I mean, just calling everybody baby is a little weird when you're talking to full-grown men. Just saying the same thing. It doesn't get me fired up, especially coming from. I mean, he's taller than I am, but when you're a 6'7", 300+ pound lineman, you have some pipsqueak saying those kind of things to you. It doesn't get me fired up, but you know what? Whatever works.
I'm getting mad.
Scotty, I'm going with the Rams.
Yep.
My whole reason behind this is Seattle being one of the luckier teams out there. 10-2, they're a team that could probably be 11-1, or at the same time 5-7 or 7-5. They have done the opposite of the Chargers. They find a way to win those close games. To their credit, at the same time, the Rams, like them in this spot as home dogs. You think of how many points they've outscored their opposition by. The Rams have outscored opponents by 36. Seattle, only 33 points. Or only 36 for Seattle, 33 for the Rams. Seattle's the first team in 30 seasons to have 10 or more wins and only outscore their opponents by an average of 3 points per game. That's unheard of. And then if they, 6 inches away from the Rams beating Seattle last time in Seattle, another primetime game. Don't like to go against Russell Wilson on primetime. He's awesome. I'm all about Scotty's love for him, but I'm going with the Rams just because love the spot on a game they must have. Seattle, obviously an important game for them too, but they have another big showing coming up against the 49ers. I think the Rams are a more desperate team, and home underdogs in a desperate spot sounds like money to me.
The last time I took the Rams as home dogs in a prime... Is this game primetime?
Yes.
Yes. In a primetime game,
Baltimore.
They did nothing but get blown out by Baltimore.
A team that went to Seattle and won by 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's time. Our bonus. Scotty and I have dove into the college ranks for a bonus and a lock this week. Scotty, are you going to use it as your bonus?
Lock.
Or are you going to use it?
It's my lock. Yeah,
okay.
It's my lock.
All right. Well, we'll start with your bonus for this week.
Eli is back. Last week it was Andy Dalton. This week it's Eli Manning, and the stage could not be better. 116 as a starter to come back. This is his championship career game. For all the marbles. Are you gonna have a winning record or a losing record? Plus, I like the Giants plus 10. The Eagles just lost.
Is that what you're saying, Scotty? This is Eli's last game?
Well, we'll see. If Daniel Jones comes back from an ankle injury, I don't know. I'm setting the stage.
No, I'm saying
you
think it's the last game of his career.
I don't know. No, I mean, he's not going to get hurt.
So what say? You say 116, 117. This is his last chance to go positive?
Where's he going to go?
I think he'll go somewhere. I think he said that he's not going to retire.
Jacksonville?
Yeah, I know, but who wants Eli Manning? Seriously. The Broncos? Probably.
No, I think someone will have to,
Who? I don't know, man. Maybe mid-season. Eli Manning has not shown anything to people. People are like, he's not going to be like the Nick Foles of this season. He's not going to be like the Joe Flacco even.
What are you taking them Giants at? +9?
Plus 10. Oh, I had him at plus 10. I'll take him at plus 9 if that's what you have.
Give you 9.5.
Give me the Eagles just lost to the Dolphins. They're in a bad spot. The Cowboys are going to win the night, or they should. I think the Eagles get buried, or they win close. I think Eli Manning comes back, plays a good game, or a game to just keep him in it at least, and Cowboys cover.
I'm giving you 9.5. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Mine's going to go with Zack's lock of the week. Washington plus 13. Team that can run the ball. Darius Geis has, electrified that offense. Haskins, what do you do with a bad quarterback that can't throw? You hand off to a talented running back who is not taking a snap for granted from all the injuries that he's really recovered from. Redskins, hot team right now. The Packers, kind of a bad spot, I think, because it's like last week I went with the Packers as my bonus. At New York against the Giants, -7. Now they come home, double-digit favorites. Looks like a relaxing spot where they win under the number, plus 13. Washington, like them in this spot. All right, bonus for the deplorable guys. Cardinals, give them plus 2.5 at Pittsburgh, or at home against Pittsburgh. Bad travel spot for the Steelers.
It's not money. So they had the spread, not money line.
They had money line, but what's the point of that?
I don't know. It's a bonus. Better pay up.
Yeah, okay.
Is it?
All right. Okay, they have the Cardinals money line. All right, Zach, what's your bonus for Nathan that he might take, but he might not?
Just, I'll throw it out there. See what comes back. I'm going to go ahead and take The Dolphins -5.5.
Yep.
So we have them at
+5.
That's what I meant. Sorry, I was reading Jets. It said Dolphins. Dolphins +5.5. I think they lose by a field goal.
And I guarantee that that's on Nathan's card anyway.
Probably.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. That sounds like a total Nathan bet,
For sure.
doesn't it? Well, a hypothetical bet.
All right. Secure the bag pick of the week. We forgot to keep calling that.
Secure the bag pick of the week. I always think about it when I'm like driving. I'm like, man, we should like start actually saying that because that's what it is.
Hand up, that's on me. Deplorable guys, start with them. Ohio State -16 in the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis against Wisconsin. I like that pick. It seems stupid. It seems like it's too obvious, but I'm not going to overthink it. Ohio State covers. That's what they do.
Spoiler, it's mine too.
Okay.
It's mine too.
Exciting radio, as usual, from Scotty.
Because, it's Ohio State, man. They have been a money funnel for me this year. I'm not backing down when it matters most. I told you guys I'm not losing another lock. I'll lose all these spreads. I'm not losing another lock. I'm not losing another lock.
Guys ever hear of money
Ohio
in the
State
crumbs? Guys ever hear of money in the crumbs? That's it. You find those low games no one really cares about, bet those. That's my lock. UNL Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns, against Appalachian State in the conference championship game. We're going under 56.5. Lock. This is my, oh my God, there's a bear in my oatmeal. Lock of the year. Because it's so obvious. And it's like...
Do you remember that old commercial? Chuck Testa, the taxidermy animals. Oh my God, there's a bear in my bed. Sorry, when you said that, it reminded me of that. I'm so sorry.
Didn't know that. Okay. But
should put that in your stand-up.
Yeah, for sure. Last three, this is the fourth time in 2 seasons these two teams have played. The total has never gone above 50 in those 4 games. Earlier this season, Appalachian State won 17-7, total 24. Now it's under 56.5 is where the point total's at for this game. Appalachian State, 18th in the nation in running the ball. UNL Lafayette is 6th. They're both terrible passing teams, ranked 70 or above. Appalachian State can stop the run. Lafayette can stop the run, a little bit worse, but they can still do it. These two teams run the ball. It's a slugfest of just clock, run the ball. Slugfest of just handoff, tackle, keep the clock running, under the number, 56.5.
Shelby, I think after all of these games that we go to, we bet unders so often, we might need rotator cuff surgery all these games that we watch at Lawrenceburg.
Winding the clock. All right, Zach, you get a lock for Nathan.
And this should have been...
That he may or may not take.
Yeah, honestly, this one was almost my lock of the week of the century. We've been talking about who's back.
I almost had this too.
Yeah. It's going to have to be Bengals plus 7.5.
See, that's a public thing too. It's like it's so obvious.
It's like if they got to lose by a touchdown or a field goal, they still cover.
Yeah, that's how gambling works.
Okay.
But yeah, it opened at 8.5, already down a whole point. But like, I can't shake the feeling, and that's why I've struggled betting against the Browns this year. Is that like how incredible Baker Mayfield looked last year, especially against the Bengals, is still burned in my mind. That it would not surprise me if they won by 17. But all the factors say the Bengals cover here. John Ross is back. Andy Dalton's back. The offense looked great. Subpar. Average. We'll say average. But now, like, they were playing to win the whole time. They got the monkey out their back. So they're rejuvenated. Cleveland, worst spot they could be in. Their whole season got shipwrecked last week against Pittsburgh. They have a 4% chance to make the playoffs, according to the New York Times. Everything screams Cincinnati. I'm too nervous to bet it. But, yeah. All right. Good stuff, guys. Scotty, good stuff on your part.
You think so?
I think so.
I know so.
You like 49ers and Chiefs plus? No, you faded those.
I faded those, but it's not like those are obvious to me. There's 4 good games on the slate. Out of our 4 games, 3 of them are a field goal or less. Spread wise. And the other is Ravens Bills, and I don't, So, yeah, I like it. Reminder, I'm 28-26-1, and I jinxed myself. I started 4-0, and then I told Scotty I'm going to go 6-0 this week. Patriots-Texans went over. Seahawks-Vikings went over. I went 4-2. Nathan 3-3. He's 27-28. Scotty bringing up the rear again. 20-34-1.
Mitch Trubisky doesn't even have 1,000 yards yet.
All right.
No, he does. That's not true. Are you serious?
979.
Oh, that's god awful.
I mean, he missed how many games?
One?
Like 2?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
All right. You guys ready for snake draft?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Oh, this is good. All right. Reminder last
No,
week.
Zach, that's in his last 4 games, you idiot.
Oh. Whoops.
But
the fact that it didn't surprise us
that's true.
Is the shocking part here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good case.
So we're going to have 5 picks again this week because there's no buys. And the game tonight's obviously off the table. Zach and Scotty each went 2-3 last week. I went 4-1. Zach maintains his 3-game lead to avoid the swirly that goes to the last place guy in snake draft. So watch out.
Unless it's Scotty, because he will squelch on his bet.
Yeah, that's
true. You gonna welch? You gonna welch?
Did I say squelch?
You gonna welch?
I am. Yep.
Wes Welcher?
You can call me that from now on. I'll be Wes Welcher.
So low. Okay.
I don't know what's worse, like Wes Welcher. We just keep calling him Scott.
Yeah, I'll never call you Scotty again.
Yeah. I might just start calling
That's
him Walker.
Okay.
Just put your head in the toilet. All right.
That's so hard to ask.
Scotty, you have the first pick. And know what sucked for Scotty was he started 2-0 on Thanksgiving and went 0-3 on Sunday.
But I also got my lock, baby.
You did get your lock, and that was your only winner.
Yep. But the lock, though. I told you guys I wouldn't miss the lock.
Secure the bag.
Secure the bag and lock it up.
All right. Scotty, your first pick for snake draft.
Rise of Blights.
Rise of Blights.
Yeah, Ken.
I'm going to go with Green Bay over Washington.
GB over Wash. First pick off the board. Zach?
Now I have to reevaluate my whole existence. Because he ruined that one. No, that's not why. Just I hate my life. I'm going to go Texans over Broncos because screw Scotty.
Yeah, I'm not on the Drew Lock thing. I don't know.
Did you see him getting amped? How would you not be on the Drew Lock train?
Because he had 11 passing yards in the second half. But I heard a stat.
Talk to my buddy Rich Scangarello.
I heard a stat, Scotty, that I don't think you want to hear, but I'm going to tell you. Drew Lock in college against non-winning teams had a 7-1 touchdown to interception ratio. But against winning teams, he had a negative touchdown to interception ratio.
Did you look this up just to...
No, I heard it.
Just to rub salt in his wound?
I heard
also,
it.
Drew Lock played on a team with not a lot of talent against those talented teams with winning records.
I didn't say that he didn't win enough. I said he threw too many picks. But that was never a problem against bad opponents. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it because it's surprising.
That's okay. Drew Lock is going to have bad games, obviously. Everyone he'll probably throw 3 picks and throw for like 170 yards next week, and everyone will say he sucks and the Broncos need to draft a QB. That's the life as a Broncos fan. Yeah, but it's important to just not give up on it.
I just thought it was interesting. That's it. All right. I'm going to go Vikings over Lions. Okay. David Blau still the starter? I don't know.
I would.
I'm surprised Zack didn't take that one.
He played very well.
And then...
He did.
And then, but because
this
team is desperate, swing it back around to me, I'm taking Eagles over Giants. I'm not buying the Eli Manning thing, but he might, but this is just straight up. So, Eagles over Giants. Zach, you're up.
Oh, God. Ravens over Bills.
That's a surprise pick.
Yeah. They've proved me wrong like 3 weeks in a row. I thought they were gonna lose to really thought they were gonna lose the 49ers. Thought they were going to lose to the Rams. So,
Hey Shelby, who was your pick? The second one?
Eagles over Giants.
Oh right, that's right.
All right, Scotty, 2 picks.
You guys have left me in a pretty tough spot.
That's an interception. Scotty, your under's going to hit. Yes.
I didn't bet the under.
First quarter under.
I didn't bet it.
Oh, no.
Oh, you said you did.
No, I bet the passing yards live.
Oh, man. That would have been an awesome beat for you.
That is a pick. And they have it at the 1-inch line.
I'll take it. Oh.
What if they get a safety here?
That would suck. I already put it in the win column. Okay, Scotty, 2 picks.
Okay. I have Pittsburgh over Arizona.
Okay.
And I don't love it.
Right.
I already kind of hate that I picked that.
Okay.
And I already don't know what I'm doing next because these games are just so freaking hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. All right. Give me Tennessee over Oakland.
Okay. Zach, you're up.
You don't leave me much to work with here.
Hey, you still got 3 picks, buddy.
Colts, Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the Colts.
Okay. I was going to say, you got to pick
You got to pick one of them.
You have to name a game.
Yes, that is 2 teams that are playing this weekend.
Browns over Bengals. And then swinging around, we're going to go with the Falcons over the Panthers.
Ooh. Shelby feeling spicy. Well, you play with house money. You're so far ahead of the 2 of us.
7 games.
Yeah. Playing with house money.
I go 5-0. Shelby goes 0-5. I'm right back in it.
Well, we aren't doing 5 this week. We're doing 4.
We are doing 5, Zach. So.
We are?
Yeah, I said that at the beginning. Great radio.
Oh, shoot.
Stupid asshole.
All right, so you got 2 more picks starting now. First one.
Freaking so stupid, idiot. Dumbass bitch.
You gonna pick?
Zach?
I'm waiting for him to apologize.
I'm sorry, Zach.
Chargers over Jaguars.
Oh. One of those teams has to win.
It's a get-right game.
for both teams in the last month. Scotty, 2 picks to finish off your 5.
My turn again? Oh, man.
Only 4 games left.
Here's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to win somewhere. I'm going New Orleans over San Francisco and New England over Kansas City. I mean, something's got to give.
I really thought Scotty was going to say, I'm taking New Orleans over San Francisco, and then I'm taking San Francisco over New Orleans. One of those has to win. All right. I like that. All right. Zach, 2 games left. You got the Rams and the Seahawks and the Jets-Dolphins.
Or I could fade you.
Or you could fade me.
And I'm going to do that. The Bengals over the Browns.
Oh, I hope not.
Let's go.
All right. That leaves me...
Zach, that's an L for Zach.
That leaves me with the Dolphins beating the Jets because they shouldn't be 5-point underdogs when they kick the crap out of the Jets the first time. And the Jets are deflated after that loss. So,
man, I don't... It's kind of a soft move for me to fade myself in the gambling to the snake draft. But actually, both could still happen. But I'm going to do it anyway this week.
Is that legal?
Yeah, he took... that's what he meant by saying he's going to win somehow. He took San Francisco plus 2.5, Kansas City plus 3, and then he switched them for the snake draft. That's a savvy play.
I mean a snake draft. Could I theoretically be like, okay, I take the Vikings over the Lions, and then I'd also like to take the Lions over the Vikings?
No, if Scotty tried it, I was going to be like, no, you can't do that. But that's where I thought Scotty was going, and it would have been genius. But that was also savvy play to go against the boardwalk. So, all right, we love it. Those are your snake draft picks.
Nothing but savviness.
Yep. All right, time for Monday morning headlines.
Wait, I thought don't we have like a good Twitter trend, or is that later?
That's a Monday segment.
Oh.
Oh, we have our top moments of the decade.
That's what I was waiting. I thought that was like the Twitter trend.
All right, 2 segments left. We're going to start with Monday morning headlines. Anyone have a good Monday morning headline they want to share? Zach seems like he does.
Zach?
I've given up on contributing to this segment just because they're always so bad.
I'll start. Charlotte Observer says Riverboat redemption. Panthers look excellent in first game without Ron Rivera in win over Atlanta. Even though I took Atlanta in the snake draft.
Hedging your bets.
Hedging my bets. Anyone? Bueller?
Bueller.
The Indianapolis Star.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, good paper.
Let's go. Yes. That's it. Just kidding. The Indianapolis Star says, we are a newspaper, and we also cover the Colts. They lost, by the way. Fuck Zack.
So should we give up on this segment since no one wants to? All right.
Do you not have any more?
I have 2 more that I actually thought of, but no one else does.
No,
okay.
do 'em.
New York Post, look alive for top 5. Second loss to hapless Dolphins puts Jets in position for one of top draft picks.
I think this should just be a Shelby-only segment.
Yeah, the journalist.
He does so well with it.
I mean, he's the journalist. He writes headlines for a living, but so do I.
Another New York Post, 1 up. Eli gets to 1 game above 500 after shocking upset of playoff hopeful Eagles.
The Denver Post. Players trade in Bronco for Texan as Broncos ride. That doesn't sound good. As Broncos ride the Texans to a loss.
Beautiful.
To a win?
The San Francisco Chronicle?
Yeah.
49ers give... I'm sorry. 49ers give San Francisco 49 reasons to forget about their racist commentator in their win over the Saints. 49 to 45.
You took the under in that game, by the way. All right.
Wait, I got one.
All right.
The LA Chronicle.
Nope.
The LA
Times
suggests we need a time machine. Phillip Rivers stinks in Jacksonville.
Where's Ryan Leaf when you need him?
No.
All right.
Low voltage. Another unsatisfying performance. All right, I don't care. All right. Now it's like last segment on Twitter. Everyone's like, "Oh, top Twitter moments of the decade." So obviously we're gonna do our top sports moments of the decade. Scotty, do you want to start with one of your favorite sports moments of the decade?
Yeah, dude, this was actually fun.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson end zone pick in the Super Bowl in
First
Super Bowl
thing I wrote down.
49. Yeah,
First thing I wrote down.
Easy. I've got 3 sports. That's my football one.
I'll parlay with that with the Patriots comeback in Super Bowl 51.
Yeah, I almost wrote that, but I didn't want to.
Because those 2 games, Super Bowl wise, are those like we don't talk about the winner after the game. We talk about like how this team could lose this perfect spot. Like,
yeah.
After the game, it was and that's the world we live in today. No one praises the winner. It's all about like why did the Rams only score 3 points? Like why didn't they run the ball? How did the Falcons not run the ball to secure that win? So,
yeah, when looking at these moments, I was thinking like, what?
He's at the game.
When looking at these games. Thanks for interrupting me, Zach. I was looking at like what did the world like stop and watch? You know what I mean? Like what like had everyone who even like girlfriends were like invested in. Girlfriends who don't give a shit about sports. Mm-hmm. And that was one of them. Do you have another one, Shelby?
Yeah, I have a few. The Iron Bowl kick 6.
Oh yeah,
that everyone lost their minds about that. The Saints pick 6 to win the Super Bowl against the Colts. Because it technically happened in 2010.
Well, also the halftime, coming out of halftime and starting with an onside kick.
Yeah, that whole Super Bowl.
That one's on my list. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
I have a great one.
Yeah.
Ray Allen's 3 for the Heat against the Spurs.
In Game 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one. I'm not gonna put any LeBron stuff on that because like obviously the Cavs come back from 3 games to 1 down.
You stole mine.
Well, that's an obvious. You should have. That's a layup. Literally,
it's not really a moment. It's kind of like a sequence.
James.
God, kill me. The Cubs winning the World Series. Sucks that
I
it
have
was
Nationals
a rival.
winning the series.
Sucks that it was a rival, but that Game 7 is one of the best baseball games I've ever watched.
Yep.
Just the rain delay, the home run off Chapman, the Cubs finally winning it. That was great.
Yep.
Scotty, you want to?
And I have the Nationals as my third.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yep.
You say Butler almost beating Duke.
Yeah, the shot that almost went in.
Yeah, that half court.
That was a good one. Like Villanova's game winner to win the national championship. Another good one. Like all the Sister Jean stuff with Loyola Chicago.
Mario Manningham catch.
Yeah.
The 16 versus 1 win.
The Mile High Miracle.
Yep.
No.
Got to go with that one.
The Richard Sherman's post game after the NFC Championship
You're
game.
trying to be with a sorry receiver like Crabtree.
My favorite of all time. My favorite NFL game of all time is the Broncos Patriots AFC Championship game in 2015.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would say that right. Obviously, winning a Super Bowl is like, as Scotty, as I'm sure that you and me only know in this. On
not
this
Shelby.
podcast. No, it's there's no greater feeling, but beating the Patriots in an AFC Championship is just.
It's like the Super Bowl doesn't even feel like it's like part of the season anymore. It's like
it feels like when you beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship, you feel like you won.
Yeah.
I would say the non-pass interference last year was a big one.
Yeah,
that's a big moment.
It changed the whole landscape of this. Well,
not a positive
one,
but
it was
it's a
going
moment.
to change the whole landscape, but it only makes you mad that they never overturned pass interference calls.
Here's a big honorable mention for me, and I'm going to be alone on this. No one will ever see this coming. Because I got nervous watching this game.
The Bengals putting the Bills into the playoffs?
No, that's a good one. But it was the 2018 Winter Olympics, and it was the USA men's curling team that won a gold medal. And I remember waking
that
up,
was a big moment.
I remember waking up at 3 a.m. to watch that game, and I was legit nervous about it. And that's literally, if you look at it, it would be like the equivalent of the Nationals winning the World Series, or like the Bears winning the Super Bowl this year. That's how far they came from, like the losers bracket, big time. Came back and won.
Oh, if you want to go, I guess it's not really technically Olympics, but it's kind of that field where the Americans don't really care about it. Is Donovan Mitchell's?
The World Cup, dude, is another level, and Americans care about that.
I was watching that.
That was great.
I love the World Cup.
Pick any women's game from the past 2 World Cups.
Absolutely.
Yep, true.
And they dominated. I mean, Zack, you're an annoying Ohio State fan, so I'm surprised you didn't put Zeke's run in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I didn't want to sully the list by saying something that would piss you guys off. As the Bears kick their extra point to tie it.
Tie ball game. All right, I think that'll do it for us. Good show.
And also let's give a quick shout out to our Boardwalk members. What's their names?
The Deplorable Sports
Eric, Chris, and Michael.
Yeah.
Eric, Chris, and Michael from the Deplorable Sports Podcast. Check them out, deplorablesportsmedia.com.
Guys that do the sports, the radio
baked in a buttery, crispy crunch. Baked in a buttery, flaky crisp. All right. See you guys Monday.
Shout out, guys. See you.